I'm gonna go through the surgery process. It was a bit of a Turtle Beach logo. God damn it. Thank you for the reminder. I just finished up recording the Facebook Marketplace video, so I took off the Turtle Beach logo. But yeah, dude, ladies and gentlemen, I am now the proud owner of 2 screws in my elbow. 2 screws in my elbow. I'll go through the whole thing, I'll detail all of the surgery. Bonnaroo got canceled? Yeah, dude. Bonnaroo did get canceled, and you know what? Selfishly, I'm fucking happy it did, because my sister went, and I was gonna go, but then, I shattered my elbow, and I couldn't go, and I think that's the universe working in my favor, dude. She came back home, and I was like, oh man, that's so sad. I guess you're gonna have to take care of me now, you know what I'm saying? I think it's always, happy Father's Day to everyone. I'm probably a father. I probably have some children out there that I've neglected or something, or, blocked some people who would be the baby mama of my kid. But, ignorance is bliss, you know what I'm saying? So it's fine. But happy Father's Day to those who celebrate. I spent mine with my dad yesterday. My parents came to visit me before I got this surgery. They gave me fentanyl. I don't know if you guys have ever, fentanyl is like a big thing. People talk about fentanyl all the time. That's like a big meme now. But I actually got that in my body. And they need to not give that to me. I was very... Dude, I was off the fent, brother, man. I was talking very slow. And I was super obviously fucked up. But in the time, I was like, all right, we're good to go, dude. Like, I remember thinking that I was speaking very coherently. And then my dad sent me the video of me off of fentanyl. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. But I want to show you guys, so if you haven't seen my TikTok, also, hello, TikTok people. I'm live on Twitch. TikTok is kind of the neglected stepchild here, so I just went ahead and turned comments off. If you'd like to participate in the discussion, feel free to join the Twitch or watch me from TikTok Live. I don't care. Riley Ann, thank you for the 5 months. I'm Catherine, thank you for the 7 months. Nikki Noodle Soup, thank you for the 13 months. Maeve, thank you for the 6 months. Zoe something, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Rod Banana, thank you for the 6 months. Amanda, thank you for the 20 months. Tyler, thank you for the 15 months. Maddie, thank you for the 6 months. Frosty Nibbles, thank you for the 4 months. Alyssa, thank you for the 6 months. Woo! I feel like a auctioneer, brother. Anyways, so we'll get to the milk in a second. Basically, I told the nurse as like a bit, I was like, she asked my allergies, and we were riffing. I feel like I was kind of being a bit flirtatious with this nurse. I feel like we really hit it off. And, in that same vein, I was like, ooh, I'm allergic to milk. It's like a little bit. But as it turns out, when you say that, they have to put it on the wristband. Like, I could have been like jizz, and she would have had to put patient allergy jizz. Like, legally, she would have had. Riffing with the nurse is crazy, but that's what I do. I'm a riffer, dude. I riff. I'm riffing all the time. Was she big-breasted? Not particularly. Unless she sees this, in which case they were huge. I'm just being greedy. Yeah, she was an attractive nurse, which is why I was riffing. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Clavette, thank you for the 3 months. But let's rewind, though. Let's rewind. First of all, my elbow is feeling pretty good. To be fair, though, I am taking oxys every 4 hours. So, I am going to feel good when I take oxys every 4 hours. So, I don't know how bad the pain is without opiates, but it's not bad right now. It really isn't. The first day was the worst, which was yesterday. I got surgery on Friday. I'm not taking, they don't give you Fent to take home. They don't give you at-home Fent. Also, if I start sweating, it's because for some reason the AC is off in my upstairs, and I'm kind of sweating my fucking balls off. Will you be selling the leftovers? Yes. I'm not going to use all of the oxys, so if you guys live in the Nashville area and would like oxys, feel free to contact me, send me a DM, we can negotiate. I don't think I'm going to take all of them because I feel like I'm fine. I missed the last, I didn't take one. I was supposed to take one, what time is it? 7:30. I was supposed to take one at 5:30 and I didn't because I was like, I don't want to be all fucky on stream. But anyways, so, ladies and can't clap. Can't clap. Clapping is too much. But, ladies and gents, we'll walk through surgery. My phone is on 9%. This shit is definitely going to die. For the TikTok Live. Welcome to opioid addiction. I've talked about this before, but half of my dad's side of the family is addicted to opiates, and I respect them less now because it's like you just get sleepy. That's not a respectable drug addiction. How are you addicted to being sleepy? That's ridiculous. Riley Ann, thank you for the 100 bits. Nikki Ann, thank you for the 9 months. No Vincent, thank you for the 1 gifted. Appreciate you. I was going to stream last week, but then my buddies came and visited me. We went to Dave & Buster's. We won a big giant Pickle Rick thing for like 10,000 tickets. It was awesome. And then my family visited, so I didn't stream until today, which is 6 days from the last time I strammed, whatever you want to say. No, I did not have gay sex with my good friend. I did not do that at all. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so surgery was on Friday. So I go to surgery. So I want to kind of level set here. In that one TikTok, I said that my 2 screws were $12,000, which initially they were. I had to pay the surgeon $1,000, and then I had to pay the hospital $12,000. But I was told all I had to do was pay $1,000 to the surgeon, and then I could pay off the $12,000 in increments. Incorrect. So when I got to the hospital, they were like, $12,000 right now. I was like, no. No chance am I doing that. So, as it turns out, you can negotiate with the hospital. They just make the fucking prices up. They just make it up. They just make it up, dude. They just make up the price. It's crazy. You can negotiate. If you push back a little bit, they'll be like, all right. So they brought me to the back, like behind the desk, and I talked to this guy and like negotiated. So I got him down to $6,000. That's half, dude. That's half, brother. That's pretty sweet. Because I worked for DePuy Synthes, which is an orthopedic sector of Johnson & Johnson. Synthes is the trauma sector. I was getting Synthes screws. I was like, listen, dude, do not bullshit me. I know how much these screws cost. $12,000 is egregious. And fucking $6,000, dude. $6,000. Down to $6,000. I got 50% off a surgery. Huh? Don't ever call me not a fucking businessman, dude. I'm a business genius. That was incredible. But it's so weird not seeing the TikTok chat, but it's also freeing. But anyways, yeah, so I got discount surgery, which, you know, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound great. Zyborg, thank you for the 6 months. It's time for an abortion. Thank you for the 14 months. Cecilia, thank you for the 12 months. Riley's, thank you for the 24 months. All right. So, yeah, they brought my surgery costs down to $6,000. I mean, I don't have health insurance. I think that's also very funny. Like, every time sometimes I'll post something on TikTok and it will start, like, a political debate in the comments, which I think is very funny. I've got, like, Europeans being like, laughs in European, Americans fucking had to pay so much for healthcare, and then Americans will be like, well, you guys fucking suck because, you know, you gotta wait forever for healthcare. It's just people beefing. And, you know, whatever, last and free healthcare. See if I give a fuck. I give a fuck now. I do, because, you know, I mean, even $6,000, that's not great. But I'm getting occupational therapy for the free ski because I'm close to that occupational therapist. So, grand total for that YouTube video, $15,000. I spent more on Temu than I spent on the surgery. $15,000 for Temu plus $6,000. So $21,000 total. For the video. I believe the video on YouTube has made $3,000. So we're a little bit off. We're a tiny tad bit off. We're almost there. We're almost there to breaking even. We're so close to breaking even. Yeah, so anyway, so I haggled them down to $6,000 because I'm a fucking negotiating genius. And then what else happened? They brought me back there. And me and this nurse are like, we're going tit for tat, dude. I feel like there's flirtatious vibes in the air. She was like, you remind me of this guy I went to nursing school with. And I was like, was he charming and handsome and also funny? I said it better than that. It wasn't that, but it was good. It was a good line. Trust that it was a good line. But you still have your bracelet on, Nasty? We're getting there. We're getting there. Hold on. I still have the bracelet on because it's funny, okay? So then she asked me for my allergies, and like I said in that TikTok, if you haven't seen it, this is what happened. She was like, what are your allergies? And I was like, milk, because I'm lactose intolerant, and I was like, hopefully you guys don't inject me with milk or whatever. But, so now I just have this wristband that says milk, patient allergy milk. I had to wear this the whole time, and that was pretty embarrassing. But again, fucking TikTok comments are still like, there's a difference between lactose intolerance and actual milk allergy. Yes, dude. That's why I prefaced it by saying I said milk as a joke, you fucking idiot. Or people will be like, what happened? Like, I say it in the video, you fucking dumbass. Or 5-year-olds watching the videos. I don't understand. Anyways, Foofy Lover, thank you for the 13 months. I broke my collarbone and needed 9 screws and a plate, and it was $63,000. Well, you probably have health insurance. That's what they do, is they fucking milk the health insurance for as much as they can get out of them. You know, if you have health insurance, they'll be like, actually that surgery is $300,000. Just so they can really fucking milk the health insurance company and, get it all in their face or whatever. And also the girl that I'm close with at the hospital knows the surgeon, so she told the dude all about like the HansumFella stuff, and apparently he was referring to me as my username while I was asleep, and that's embarrassing. I don't like the name. I need to rebrand. We need a different name, I think. Anyways, TikTok people, my phone is gonna fucking die. I turned off chat. I probably should have turned it on, but I turned it off. People are sharing the live. This is huge. Go on Twitch if you want, or don't. I don't know. See if I care. I got nothing to lose. My hand is orange. My hand is orange because they put the little shit on your skin when they do an incision. They give you like orange shit, iodine, whatever. Whatever, dude. Who cares? So yeah, they gave me let me think. I want to do this in chronological order. So my parents were there. I talked to the nurse, got the milk allergy thing, and then they gave me a nerve block. Maddie, think of the one gifted, which numbed my entire arm. It was crazy. They gave me a nerve block, and then they gave me fentanyl. And I was like very stupidly trying to like fumble through the bouncy house story. I put it in the Discord, but I was like, well, I was doing a video, and then and I was trying to make his basketball. I was trying basketball slam dunk, and then it was gonna be awesome. It's just super fucked up. And then they gave me this thing called a nerve block, which numbed my entire arm. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. After the surgery, I can't really do it now because it hurts, but I could like wiggle my arm around. It was just completely limp. Which, like, when I touched myself, not like sexually, but when I put my hand that was numb on my skin, it felt like a different person. So I was thinking, what if? You know what I'm saying? Like when I held my own hand, it felt like I was holding the hand of a stranger because I couldn't feel it. But I mean, I couldn't grip anything. I would have never been able to jerk off. And my parents were taking care of me. They would have been like, an hour after surgery, I'm jacking off with my numb hand. They're like, come on. Is this our son? Our 25-year-old son. Seth Ha, thank you for the 10 months. Maddie, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Maddie, thank you for the 1 gifted. Foofy Lover, thank you for the 2 months. I'm going to go ahead and send this also. I'm going to be reacting later to your, losing your virginity stories. Feel free to send it if you've lost your virginity. If you haven't lost your virginity, don't bother because you haven't lost your virginity. And if you don't feel like sharing, then fucking don't. You know what I'm saying? So just go ahead and pin that, and we'll react to that at the end of the stream. I'm gonna do unban requests, which we haven't done in quite some time, after I talk about the surgery. What else? God, it is fucking hot up here. Oh yeah, anesthesia is crazy. Anesthesia is just like teleporting. I remember the lady was telling me like, a lot of people get anesthesia, then they wake up and they're like, has this, like, are we going to start surgery soon? And I remember thinking to myself, wow, what a bunch of fucking idiots. They have no perception of time. And that's exactly what happened. I was talking up a storm, and they were like, dude, you are about to go to sleep. Like, we're putting anesthesia into you. And I was like, what? And then darkness, and it felt like I blinked, and I woke up on the recovery table. And I was like, when are they going to do incision? And she was like, that was an hour and a half ago that surgery ended. I was like, oh, shit. Do we just type the story in the chat? No, that's why I sent the Google form that you fill out that is pinned. You would put it there. Yeah, anesthesia was, and then I was just really tired all day. Yesterday was kind of a motherfucker, or 2 days ago was kind of a motherfucker. And then yesterday was not awful. I will say when the numbing stuff wore off, it hurt really fucking bad because you go from feeling nothing to feeling everything. But I fucked myself by you know how when you research yourself into a panic, Seth Ha, thank you for the 10 months if I haven't said it already. I was looking up people on Reddit who had gotten my same surgery, and I was like, what was the next day like? And everyone was like, it's going to be the most excruciating pain you've ever felt in your entire life. You're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to want to kill yourself 3 times over. And I was like, well, Jesus. So I was expecting the fucking worst. And I mean, it hurt, but it wasn't that bad yesterday. And then today is even better. So Tiara Carlson, thank you for the 12 months. I will say I did fucking hurt myself. I stepped on Squash by accident. He like creeped up behind me and I backed up and I stepped on him and he was like, "Mah!" And then like rammed my elbow into the wall. But other than that, we're good. You know, poor Squash, poor fucking me. I rammed my elbow into a wall. But I now have 2 screws. I have 2 screws in my elbow. Pretty crazy. It's a really well done surgery. The x-rays are really nice. I put them up somewhere. I think on TikTok. Yeah, I showed it on TikTok. So, 12-week recovery. What the fuck? That's like September 6th or something. September is when I will be sort of back to normal, which is crazy. Just in time for 9/11, I guess. But, wow. Good Lord. Why didn't you stream the actual surgery? I don't think they allow you to do that. HIPAA violation, mainly. But, do I keep the screws forever? Yes, they're in my body for the rest of time. I will die with these screws in my body, which is kind of crazy to think about. The repercussions of me just jumping off a bouncy house. These screws are in my body until I die. And I mean, even after I die, it'll be in my body. It's not metal, though. It's not going to go off in TSA or anything. Unless I, like, donate my body to science and maybe they take the screws or something. I don't know. But I got a new and improved splint, and I will be getting, like, a rope, like a bio arm or something. Not a bio arm, but it's like those braces that kind of look like robot arms, like, kind of like Go-Go Gadget fucking pistol or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Does your arm stink? Well, not anymore. I mean, it will soon, probably. It stunk before when I took off the original cast. Yeah, like the ones for a torn ACL. Those. It's going to be sweet. But yeah, we got a while until we're recovered. So we're going to be doing a lot of reacting for the next 6 weeks. I put a stream schedule in the Discord. Tonight we will be doing the Unban request, and then following that we'll react to you guys losing your virginity stories. I will detail mine, which you guys have probably heard before. Oh man, what if you just like recover now? I was thinking about this. If I were to take like HGH, human growth hormone, or something, those make your bones grow faster. So I wonder, I mean, that I would probably super fuck something up, but I did have this thought. I was like, if I took steroids, would it work? You know, would I recover quicker? That's what athletes do, you know? I'm not taking steroids. I'm kidding. I'm not going to. I didn't have that thought, though. But I will be getting as jacked as possible a week after surgery, so this upcoming Friday, I'm allowed to work out the rest of my body. So I'm gonna like see how fucking jacked I can get the rest of my body and have this little limp dick arm. I just want to see what it looks like. I think that would be very funny. So I'm going to document that and then I guess post that in like fucking September. It'll be a long process. But yeah, dude, fucking milk wristband. That's not a good idea. Why is that not a good idea? If anything, that'll incentivize me to be like back in the gym and healthy again. I mean, it's the only way. It's not like I can work out this arm anyways. They told me to do finger exercises. So I've been inviting a girl over and I've been fucking making her squirt, you know? Yeah, come on. He's back, people. Woo! He's back. Up top. No, I haven't been doing that. I've been doing a lot of this. I haven't been making anyone squirt. But I have been doing this a lot. Just got curious and searched HansumFella on Tumblr and it's all smut fan fictions. Yeah, dude, search any fucking person's name on Tumblr and it's all fan fictions. It's so orange. Yeah, I jerked off the president and now we're here. So I actually didn't get surgery. I jacked off the president. And that's why my hand is orange. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about other than my... Yeah, just I got the surgery. I've been gone a week. We're back like an ass crack. We've got fucking lots of videos in the works. The Facebook Marketplace video should drop tomorrow. That'll be fun. And then shortly after that, and as it turns out, my stand-up comedy video did get shadow banned and demonetized and all that stuff because turns out even if it's censored, you can't really say child pornography like 25 times in a YouTube video. So, you know, we're going to re-edit that one and we'll re-up on it. We'll re-edit that one. I mean, come on. The context matters, I feel like. I feel like the context matters there. Well, flop so bad because of what I just said. It's not, I mean, look at the previous video, you know. I liked the video. It's really good. I liked the concept and those two guys were strangers, but, you know. Unfortunate. They just take words. They're just like TikTok, where it's like the context matters none at all. It's just like whatever the word is, like bad, naughty word, blah, 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 blah. Like you just get fucked, you know? Saying it isn't great on any platform in any context. I think saying objectively that when pedophiles get caught with child pornography, they have like an obscene, way too much pornography. That's not a crazy thing to say at all because that's objectively true, you know? Context of that matters. You shouldn't just take a phrase and be like, we're going to fuck your video because of this, you know? It's like, we're talking like 200 terabytes. Anyways, whatever. I'm not going to defend that, but I'm going to delete that and re-upload it at a later time and do the Facebook Marketplace, but... If you guys were wondering, if you guys were making a video and you just happen to mention that like 20 times, even if it's censored, just be sure to not upload it. Oh, you still here? Yikes. What the fuck does that mean? I've been here, bitch. I've been here since before you were alive, you fucking bitch. I'm on oxys right now. I don't care at all. Iolac, you fucking bitch face. Yeah. Huh? Come on. Maddie, thank you for the one gifted. You just got here. That's a first-time chat. You bitch. I'm sorry. Mary Conlon, thank you for the 11 months. I bet money your gross hospital bracelet smells rank. Probably. Yeah, it's not a great smell. Fell for the rage bait again. I think rage bait, we're using the term rage bait too loosely. You can't be like, look at this fucking piece of shit. I hope his mom dies. Wow, bro fell for the rage bait. Damn, dude, he totally fell for the rage bait. Yo, this guy totally fell for the rage bait. Hey, I hope your mom fucking dies. Whoa. Way overreacted to the rage bait, dude. That's crazy. You know? Anyways, I still have this on because it's funny and it says milk on it. It made me giggle. But now that I've already now that I've done the stream, I can take it off. But anyways. I feel like half of the people that do the rage bait thing, they're just like, they're just backstepping on their statement. You know what I'm saying? They're like, whoa, rage bait. You know? Anyways. All right. So, let us now react to Unban requests. Joe's really good at falling for it. Joe is the king at taking rage bait. Honestly, I feel like watching more of Joe's stuff has made me more apt to take the bait. I'm like a fucking fish, and the rage bait is a worm. And I'm like, oh, and then go on this huge rant. Because I feel like I used to not do that ever. He's infected my mind. Anyways. Can you play Suck Up soon? It's been so long since I played Suck Up, but maybe. Holy God, I'm sweating my ass off. Trying to think. I wonder if I don't take my medicine. I should take my medicine. I've also I've been taking stool softener because opiates make you like constipated. And boy does it work. Boy is my stool soft. I've been pooping up a storm. It's been crazy. I have been pooping up a crazy storm. So, you know, just in case you guys were wondering, that's what I've been up to, is getting high on pain medicine and shitting. That's what I've been doing. All right? It's so hard to like... yesterday I got mobility back in my fingers. I used to not be able to do this, but yesterday, so now I can kind of like, I can press things. Like I can kind of type like this, like an old person or whatever. I can type like this, which is good. I like how it's a weird color. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is orange. It is fully orange. I can game a little bit. I can't like truly game. I'm doing voice activated games this Thursday, I believe. Megan Bug, thank you for the 13 months. Danny DeFito, 69, thank you for the prime sub. Oh, fuck, I gotta change the stream title. Unban requests. Boom. Had him at a Fahrenheit. Hook a bidet up, but I'm right-handed. Also, that reminds me, further speaking to my point of TikTok commenters being the most dense people on earth, so many comments being like, but that's your right hand? But that's actually your right hand. It's like, do you think I would get that so fucking wrong that I'd be like, oh, screws in my left elbow? You know, it's inverted, you know, it's the fucking... You know how when have you ever used the front camera in your life? You know what I'm saying? It inverts it. That's why it looks like my right hand. Thank you for the 100 bits. How many bits to not unban anyone? I don't know. It depends how nasty these are. Depends how fucking filthy these are. Are you happy that Bonnaroo got canceled? Selfishly, yes. My sister called me like crying, and I was like, oh no. Oh no, that's so sad. And she's like, are you evil laughing? And I was like, what? No, I'm sorry for you. All right, here we go, ladies and gents. There's that ding. There's that ding that we've come to know and love. Let me know if you guys can see. Does this work? There we go. All right, I'm gonna grape you. Okay, all right, excellent start. I'm gonna grape you. Just put the fries in the bag. I'm gonna grape you. Just put the fries in the bag. I'm gonna grape you. I'm gonna touch you. I'm gonna grape you. You're gonna get graped. I'm gonna grape you. Just like your mom, I'm gonna grape you. You're getting graped. I'm gonna grape you. Listen to gangster rap. Go listen to gangster rap. We can hear you. I'm sorry for spamming the chat. I won't do it again. Well, no, I don't think the spam was the problem. I think the insinuation that you were going to rape me was the main issue. I believe that is why you got banned. Not so much the spamming. I mean, definitely the spamming, but mainly the insinuation of rape. I will say, if this is like a paying homage to the whitest kids you know, then maybe I could let it slide. But I don't think I'm going to here. Do we ban this guy? I mean, these are his only chats from this day. So I think I'm going to deny that one. We got one new request. Oh, hello. So, spoke in November of 2023 and then December of 2023, and then did not say anything until January of last year, and then said the N-word, basically. And then, there's no excuse. This guy's name is the White Sniper. The White Sniper. It's like you couldn't even make the argument that you're a black guy. Hey, I'm really sorry and I mean it. You're one of my favorite YouTubers / streamers, and I understand what I said wasn't okay and won't happen again. Now, this was forever ago, but also I don't think I want to unban this guy. Although he really is sorry and he means it, though. All right. You look like Dream. Do a collab with Ice Spice. Fucking ads, handsome fella and handsome lady. Gay 9/11. Okay. Gay 9/11. How big is your dingle dongle? Please tickle my pickle, tickle my pickle, tickle my pickle, tickle my pickle, tickle my pickle. Poop. I like kids. Maze Runner is peak. I didn't mean it, brochacho. Gay 9/11 makes me laugh, but you can't come in here saying you like kids. You can't come in here saying I like kids. You can't do that. So, I mean, on that, did he say gay 9/11 on 9/11? That makes it even funnier, but you can't say I like kids. Who here is from Dayton, Ohio? Who here is from Ohio? Summon Jupiter, thank you for the 8 months. Why is the whole chat girls? Why are there so many girls in here? Who is from Dayton, Ohio? Bro, why is there so many girls in here? Who here is a boy? There's too many girls. Where are the boys? I'm not gay, but where are the boys? I hate girls. I'm not misogynistic. I just want real friends. I'm not gay. I'm scared of girls. The Ender Dragon is a girl. Who here is from Dayton, Ohio? Went back to the original question. Is this person trying to find friends? Where are the guys from Dayton, Ohio? Listen, we need the boys from Dayton, Ohio. I'm trying to find a best friend in Dayton, Ohio. Or a gay lover. Ew, I don't date boys. I'm not the only one. Guys, I found a boy. And then on the same day, said, I hate you. I hate the streamer. Stop cheating, monkey. You're freaking cheating, cheater. You're such a cheating monkey. Now, this was in August 28th. So, also, monkey is crazy. I don't know if I should feel offended by that, but The most annoying chatter I've ever encountered. Thought it was a bit, but it kept going and going. Yeah. We'll just leave this guy banned, I think. I'm a stand-up comedian and death metal guitarist and one of the boys. Well, that's the coolest shit I've ever heard in my life. How's the elbow? Recovering. Oh! Can't lift it. Can't lift it. Too much. Oh! Sorry, guys. Wasn't paying attention. Oh, it doesn't even say it. We're fine. This could be anything. I mean, these were pretty relatively normal chats until dropping this fucking bomb. Something stupid I said. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. Dude, this is like Kramer said at the Laugh Factory. Like, it's just like, oh, we're joking around. Boop! Yeah, these are all old as fuck. But I don't know why people just now are coming out of the woodworks to do the requests. I guess because, you know, they think enough time has passed, but I don't think enough time will pass for me to look past the you know, the N-word. Bam. How do I stop touching my 2-year-old cousin? Okay. I don't know why I'm banned. Well, I could tell you why. Jesus Christ. Do you like boys, the little ones? I'm sorry. So, you know, I mean, Jesus. Are you coming to Nashville anytime soon? Are you coming to Nashville anytime soon? Are you coming to Nashville anytime soon? Are you coming to Nashville? Blah, blah, blah. They just asked that 17 times and then said, please. That sucks. When am I... If you really wanted to salvage this... Oh, I banned them. Yeah, fuck yeah. Deserved. When what? I guess this would have been when I was in Austin. When are you reading Confessions? Can we smash? You're coming to Nashville. Raw smash. Raw. Fuck no. Also, I live in Nashville. You lost like 60% of your YouTube views, 400K followers, 300 viewers. See, this is, I find it interesting. I mean, yes, certainly. But I did also just have like a 1 out of 10 YouTube video. And then the Twitch, yeah, sure. But I mean, we make, money-wise, Twitch is the same as it's always been. Just kind of a little bit lower view-wise. However, I will say, the thing that makes me laugh about these accounts is like, especially on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, if you click on the account, wait, did they say ass licker? Hilarious. I might unban them just because of the ass licker thing. But the people that are like, damn, bro, you fell off, don't even try. You'll click on their account and they're like, posting every day until I become an influencer. It's like, dude, you want this so bad. You fucking wish you had my scraps, dude. You wish you had my scraps. That's hilarious. Like, all of the people that comment like, damn, fell off, it'll be like, bro, I'm just trying to make it in this world as an influencer so I can quit my job. It's like, dude, you want this so bad. You wish you could just do this and make a regular wage, but you can't. And it makes me laugh. And I'm talking to you right now. You'll never make it. Ever. Preston, thank you for the 23 months. Ass liquor is funny. But people like that are annoying. Opinion on yellow people. What does that mean? What race is that talking about? I guess maybe I shouldn't ask that. Really? I've never heard that in my life. I have never heard that. The smart kind. Yeah, Lego people. The Lego community. Hello. So I did not mean this message with ill intent. It was supposed to just be funny. I will not lie and say I was talking about The Simpsons. I just thought it would be quite funny and didn't think about the consequences of my actions. I'm very, very, very sorry and can promise it won't happen again. I don't know. I feel like I've never... They did kind of own up to not saying... Because they could have said I was talking about The Simpsons. I don't know why that was the first chat. And that can either be beneficial or detrimental, you know, it depends on how you think about it. Will they redeem themselves, or is it like, well, out the gate, you said some fuck shit, you know? Connor IDK. Think of the 2 months. I don't know. We'll think about it. Wait, we may have seen these already. He's trying so hard to be Joe Bart. You guys are glazing. You're not Joe L-Stream. Joe said you're a bottom 5 friend. You're not Joe Bart. Mogging the Huzz with a chicken jockey. In Ohio, also W Aura. I think I remember this one. Okay. These are old. A racist. Okay. Fella. Conspiracy theorist, but what if Jimmy Neutron was actually a drug dealer? Torch the sex doll. Cereal on the floor is crazy. Clip baiting. Filled with STDs. Stop saying slurs. I'm not looking up sex doll. I'd like to bang one. See if you... Oh, well, this request was denied just now. What? I didn't even see it. What happened? You didn't even get... Was it really bad? Did I not get to the bad part? Was it really bad? Did I not get to the bad part? Well, now I want to know. What the fuck? I was going to get there. I was going to get there eventually. I was just reading. This one is just the N-word. I won't cuss again. I rarely join, but I would like to be unbanned. Plus, I am black. Dude, Oscar. You are Hispanic, Oscar. I don't believe it for a second. I feel like we've gone through these before. No. This one I don't know. Fella, can you say happy birthday to Yori blank? Please, I was trying to be funny. I'm sorry. Unban me. That's a funny little bit right there. That's a funny little bit right there. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, okay. N-word. Hello, I'm new N-word. I forgot what I said. If I said anything too bad, I'm sorry. What? Tell Jake Weber to unban me from his chat, please. No way, LMAO. I said in the chat before why I got banned. I think his mod thought I was being transphobic, but his short... Today was truly the trans flag, and he was like, look at how rad my shirt is, blah, blah. Listen, I don't give a fuck what your reasoning as to why you got banned in Jake Weber's chat is. Just don't come in here being like, hey, why don't you put in a good word for me? Unless you're sending me money. You know, maybe say this chat after gifting 25 subs. And then maybe I will consider putting a good word in to Mr. Weber. However, if you were showing me $0, ban hammer, dude. Joe doesn't have a king. Joe doesn't have a king. Just lying, just lying. Cock. Fuck the other chat. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what this means. But I guess they were just spamming and being annoying. Whoa! Huh, why did this one get banned? Hold on, I'm gonna have to go through. Huh. Well, let's read the explanation here. I'm really sorry I said this. I've been going through a tough period of drug withdrawal. Wasn't in the right headspace. If I'm not unbanned, then that's okay. But I used to be a fan of Hansum when he was blowing up on TikTok. When all he played was just Minecraft. Anyways, hope you can understand. Thanks and have a good day. Well, I hope you enjoy rehab, bitch. Denied. All right. So, let's move on to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen. That is a horrible excuse. That is not a good excuse. Come on. I'm sorry if you were actually going through the drug withdrawal, but I don't believe it, really. I'm going to be honest. That's like tantamount to being like, but my little brother got on the chat and he was basically saying, and he took everything and then he said the N-word. And then he said the N-word and I didn't say the N-word. It was my little brother who did that. Anyways. All right, party people. So, I would like to reiterate here, we have pinned the Google form. What I'm going to be doing is reacting to your guys' losing your virginity stories. So, how did you lose your virginity? Make sure to let me know in the Google form submission, and I will be reacting to it as soon as I pee and I get an ice pack for my elbow. Is it no longer pinned? All right, well, watch this. You're about to shit bricks. Oh, you're about to shit. Oh, it is pinned? Okay, well, there you go. Sorry. Oh, I see it. I don't know why I believed a chat over that. I mean, if it's boring, though, if you're just like, one time I've had sex, boo, dude, it's got to be fun. It's got to be fun and awesome. And lighthearted, you know? We don't want anything crazy. Hold on, let's... Can we make a fake one? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that's 75% of the submissions when I do these streams. So, I mean, feel free. Whatever. You have to be a good writer, though, because usually it is pretty easy to vet out the ones that are just complete fake nonsense. Reacting to how Chan lost her virginity. There we go. And if you're a virgin and you'd like to participate, ha 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 ha. We've sex. You haven't sex. We've sex. You've no sex. All right. I'm going to play this song again. And I'm going to ice my elbow. I'm going to get ice for my elbow. And I'll be right back. And I'm going to try and fix the AC in here. I'm sweating my dick off. I don't know why the upstairs AC just turns off sometimes, but it just does. Ladies, just remember, if you didn't finish, it doesn't count. So, like, every woman's a virgin? That's crazy. That's ridiculous science. Okay? Ridiculous science. All right? All right, I'll be right back. Dude, I fucking left my water downstairs. Do you know how much effort it is to walk around like this? So much effort. My whole summer is gone. I'm 25. I mean, and I don't have a real job. So I mean, that really doesn't matter that much, but still. But like, I would be upset if I had like a summer break or something. My mom's going to be really proud of me for when she left yesterday. She was like, make sure to follow. She made a little checklist for me. It's crippled summer, everybody. Come on, let's have a crippled summer, everyone. Lauren Mack, thank you for the tier 1 3 months in advance. It's handicap summer, baby! Fuck. All right, ice pack is in. I should go get my water. Every summer is crippled summer for us real cripples, you poser. Yeah, but now it's in because I'm crippled. Before it's like, I mean, I'm kidding. Well, this has nothing to do with crippled people, but I watched Love on the Spectrum last night. That show was fucking awesome. A part of me feels bad though because the whole show is like, let's point and laugh at how these guys interact with each other, you know? But it is really good. The Nats have come back. They've followed me from Quincy. Followed me from the great state of Illinois. Dude, I am so hungry. Anyways, I need to get my water. And what else? Oh yeah, watch Love on the Spectrum. It was pretty good. It was a good show. It made me giggle and laugh. I had a crippled summer last summer. Dude, hold on. Did you learn from it? Did I learn from fucking my elbow up? Yeah. I mean, I learned that clip farming kills, you know? Clip farming can have dangerous repercussions. Why are you still wearing the milk tag? Because I thought it'd be funny for the stream. I will be taking it off. Or maybe I just leave it on. I don't know. I'm going to look at these comments real quick. Because sometimes I spark like a political debate in my comments, which makes me laugh. Laughs in free healthcare. Laughs in bottomless defense budget. Remember to avail of that defense budget when you're bleeding out on the street and need an ambulance. Laughs in 65% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Laughs in lower taxes in the greatest military. Not a country on earth would last against the U.S. Only two come remotely close. Y'all lost against Vietnam, Syria, Afghanistan, 3 already stomped out. Nobody's scared of the U.S. Look at the fucking cope. Yeah, NATO would have for sure collapsed. I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. I barely know what NATO is. I'm making a TikTok being like, me when I jerk off so much that my arm explodes, and they're like, NATO is a power, you don't stand a chance. I'm like, dude, what are you guys talking about? I'm not involved in this at all. Like we're having like discussions of war amongst countries and you know the efficacy of having free healthcare, and I'm like, me when I jerk off so much that you know I have to get surgery. Strawberry fridge magnet. Think of it, 8 months. God. Yeah, like you guys are at the. I've invited you to the table of being stupid as fuck, and you guys are trying to bring like actual arguments into it. Listen, there's no room for that here. Okay, either be like, you know, I also jerked off so hard that I broke my arm, or get out. You know, we don't have to talk about. I will say, after paying so much for surgery, I'm kind of like, maybe we need to reevaluate. Like, I feel like I've become the Joker, but like Bernie Sanders Joker, you know? Like I've become Bernie Sanders Joker. I'm like, everyone should have free healthcare forever. You know. Is a Google form still open? Yes, it is. It is still open. I'm going to get my water, though. Woo. I've become socialist Joker. Start a GoFundMe? No. I got this giant condom for my huge hog. So basically, no, I got this. This is an arm condom for my arm that I use to shower. I have to like, I have to shove my arm into this arm condom so that I don't get water on my brace. It's not for my penis. This would be too big of a penis. But basically, you know, slide your arm in there. It works way better than duct taping a trash bag to my arm. Up until yesterday, I have showered by putting a trash bag on my arm and then taking duct tape and like duct taping it to my arm. All right. Oh, dude, the ice is so nice. You can't, I don't know why I showed you, like you can see the ice, but. All right, let's react. I like these streams, especially now that I can't really, you know, play games. I like doing the reacting to chats, whatever the hell. I did the confessions and then the first date stories and then the reacting to your virginities. The last stream sparked this idea in my brain because a lot of the first dates were also some sex stories, and there were so many, like, you know, I went out with this girl and then she pooped on me or something. And I was like, well, maybe you guys have some interesting losing my virginity stories. I'll start with mine. Do story games with not much movement. We will do that as well. I get, like, the ones where it's just right hand clicking. We'll do that. But yeah, if you haven't heard the story, basically, I'll make it quick. Basically, all my friends made fun of me for not having sex. There was this kind of, you know, town, you know, I don't want to be offensive here, but she was sort of the you know, she was for the team and everyone kind of knew about it. And I was like, whatever, you know, we'll just go on a date with this gal. So so we went to this place, Town Cum Dump. See, I wasn't going to go that aggressive. That was way more aggressive than I was going to go. But basically, yes. So there was this gal, you know, whatever. And we went on like a night date to a park. And this particular park in my hometown, there was this tree, and it was called the Panty Tree. So the insinuation of the Panty Tree is that you walk down to the end of this bridge and then you have sex and you throw your underwear onto the Panty Tree. That's like the whole thing about the Panty Tree. So I was thinking, all right, we'll just walk to the Panty Tree and she'll get the idea. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, she'll get it. So we walked to the end and we looked at the Panty Tree and I was like, interesting. So weird that people have sex here at the end of this bridge. Isn't that crazy? Wouldn't it be nuts if we like participated? And she was like, wow, yeah, the Panty Tree. And then that just completely fell flat and we walked away from the Panty Tree and I was like, fuck. So then it ended up in the, you know, we were in the back of the car, the Kia Forte, actually, not the PT Cruiser. This was after the PT Cruiser. And basically, I just remember it stinking so bad that I was like, I guess that's just what sex smells like. I don't get the hype. That's crazy. And I like pretended to finish. I was like, whoa, whoa, you know. And I was, did I practice safe sex? Yes, I practiced safe. I wasn't raw dogging, you know, the town slut. Sorry, my bad. She was a nice gal. I'm just saying at that time, that was the reputation. Nice lady, I'm sure. I think she's married now, maybe. But that's what I was going to say earlier, and then it felt aggressive to say, but I didn't say cum dump like one of the mods did. That's way more aggressive, all right? Anyway, so I was like, oh, whoa, oh, man, this is crazy. I'm super coming. And then, but I did that because it smelled so bad, and I was like, you know, I went through years being like, that's just what sex smells like, I guess. I don't get it at all. I don't understand the hype because it smells like garbage. So, right before I turned 17 years old. So that was me. That was me. And, yeah. So now, I like to start these streams that way, you know? So now we're at a level playing field. You guys feel more comfortable sharing your stories with me. So I've shared my story with you, as I have many times, and you guys will share with me now. So, fuck, dude, I need to take my oxys right now. It is kind of fun, I will say. I don't know, maybe this starts an opiate addiction. That would be kind of funny, but that actually would be pretty detrimental. But I feel like I'm stronger than that. But maybe not, given my family history of opiate addiction. But we're within the 3-day window, so I mean, we're totally fine. I should be taking it right now. I just skipped out on stream because my mom was like so anal about, she was like, you can't take one before stream. What if you say something crazy? And I was like, I'm always saying something crazy. I feel like I couldn't possibly say anything crazier. All right. Random number generator. I just watched a Joe Bart video on opioid addiction. Awesome. That's pretty sweet. Well, I've experienced it firsthand on account of my father's side of the family. Pretty cool at Thanksgiving, you know, they're fun. They're fun at Thanksgiving. The family members who are addicted to opiates, but eventually it all comes crashing down. All right, link to sheets. Okay, number 10. All right. Oh my God. I don't know if this is real, but we did not get that many submissions for this one, so we're just gonna rip it because I did not preface. I came up with the stream idea today, so all right, here we go.
So
Make sure to send yours if you would like to participate.
So I met this girl working at Arby's. She asked me to a party. And then we ate, then we went to my mom's house and fucked while watching the Lorax. And even though it was my first time, I really just watching the movie the whole time. After that, I walked her out like a gentleman, and then in front of my whole family played I Just Had Sex by the Lonely Island FTA Con.
Yeah, see, this just reads like a fake Reddit story. And then I had sex, and then everyone clapped. And then my whole family stood up, and they all clapped for me. And then they pressed play on I Just Had Sex by the Lonely Island. This is a fake story, dumb story, too many details of, like, pop culture things, Arby's, Lorax, Just Had Sex, impossible, liar. I would like for it to be real, but I know it's not. That's what's upsetting, is it's not real. All right, 42. I'm not even vetting these. I don't feel like vetting them. I'm just going to... Some of these are going to be garbage, all right? I'm going to be honest with you. Don't feel like vet... This one I might need to vet out a bit. Maybe. Because... Well, let's just see. Let's just see...
So my sister's friend stayed over. It should be noted I keep a switchblade next to my bed.
So why should that be noted in a story where you lose your virginity? Is my question. Why should that be noted? Why should the switchblade next to your bed be noted for this particular story? I feel that's a bit unnecessary. Is this going to be some kind of blade fetish thing? For your first time? There's no... Okay.
It should be noted I keep a switchblade next to my bed.
Why should it be noted? I'm sorry. Okay.
It should be noted I keep a switchblade next to my bed. Skip a few steps, and we leave my sister alone and start doing it. It's awkward at first, but we were getting into it, and she started scratching my back with some nails she had while I was on top. I loved the feeling, so I said keep going. And for some reason...
I don't really want the erotic novelization of your guys' virginity stories. Like, you don't have to be like telling me the dialogue. You don't have to be like, and she was like, fuck yeah, keep doing that big stuff, you know? You don't really have to give me that detail, you know? Just like, I don't know, just an interesting story. You don't have to like smuttify it.
I love the feeling.
Like I don't want to know that you love the feeling.
I loved the feeling, so I said keep going. And for some reason that, in her mind, meant grab the switchblade next to my bed and start cutting up my back, not
I don't
deep,
think
just enough to
this
barely
is
draw
real.
blood. I don't know if it was the excitement, adrenaline, or me being pretty fried at the time, but I thought it was her nail. You can imagine my surprise when we finish. I roll over, get up to get her some water, and see the blood stain on my mattress. I obviously kick her out and call my sister in to bandage my back. So yeah, my first time I got my shit sliced up by a crazy bitch.
I don't know. I feel like I don't believe. I mean, this could have happened. This is more believable than the Arby's Lorax, like, Akon story or whatever. But even still, like, what? I just find it hard to believe. Maybe this stream should turn into, you know, trying to figure out if your stories are fucking fake or not. Because for you to be getting your back scratched, I feel like any normal person that hears keep going, they would just scratch harder. They wouldn't be like, yeah, let me fucking stab you, you know? They're not going to be like, let me just stab you. That's a huge step up. That's a huge step up. That's like if you're into choking and you're like, keep going, and they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a ridiculous step up from scratching. So, I don't know. I don't know if I believe this one. Yeah, and also, like, you're going from nails to a singular blade. Stupid. This isn't real. This isn't real. There's so many holes in the story. Dumb story. Oh, is the person here? Oh my god, they're here. Brother, I was high. Give me a break. Okay. Well, maybe, I guess it's real. That's a very aggressive way to start your sexual journey, because I'll send it in the Discord. What are you sending in the... No, don't send your knife cut in the Discord. I mean, maybe do. I don't know. Maybe we need some proof here. Sure, go nuts. But you have scar? What the if you come out the gate, you lost your virginity getting stabbed, how are you ever going to achieve an orgasm again without getting stabbed? Do you know what I'm saying? If that's like your first experience of sex and you're like, well, I guess that's what sex is, you're going to be like, wow, I wish this girl was fucking stabbing me with knives. Olive Eats Dinosaurs, thank you for the 11 months. It was 2 months ago. What? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Two months ago was Easter. That's crazy. 2 months ago was Easter. You were getting fucking stabbed during sex around Easter time. Well, I mean, you don't have to apologize for it. It's going to sound fake if it's a ridiculous story. But you don't have to send proof if you don't want to. Okay, number 50. And number 50 just says, I haven't. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha. It was 2 days after Easter. Oh my God. Okay, so let's go. How do I send one? You click the link to the Google form that is pinned.
I lost it to the family dog.
From user Shane_Dawson 99. Interesting. Okay, Shane Dawson. You didn't lose it to the family dog. This is obviously, again, obviously a lie to be like, ooh, funny. This is a funny little bestiality story, blah, blah, blah. But there are some kids who would put like peanut butter on their balls and then have like a dog come up and lick it. I've heard that before. I mean, obviously, you know, this didn't happen with whoever this is. And I wish this wasn't anonymous so I could be like exposing you for a bad, cringe story. But no, I don't mean me. I didn't do that. I'm just saying, not anyone in my circle either. I'm just saying I've heard of that. Okay. Fuck, it is so fucking hot up here. Let's do one that's around the submission. So it was I haven't, I lost it to the family dog, and then what else? Okay, this one kind of sucks. That one's not real. This was a horrible stream idea. This was just a bad stream idea. I'm going to do another random number generator. All of these are just like... God, what a fucking terrible... I should have stuck with the first date stories. I should have just... I should have just circled back to one of those. Oh, fuck. There's like 2 gnats in here, and if I kill them, I can end their bloodline, and there won't be that many gnats. What the fuck was that? Did you guys hear that? There's like a big... It sounded like an explosion. It's crazy. Can you put your hand on the cam for a Lamar Jackson edit? I actually saw one of these today. Here we go. Watch this. I think I fucked that up. Here we go. Watch this. Huh? That was pretty good, I think. All right. Did you guys hear that? You guys aren't hearing that. You guys did not hear that. What is going on? I don't know what's happening. I'm getting airstriked.
I was given a warming lube, and after applying it, my dick and balls went numb. We went at it for a while, but eventually the numbing wore off. Apparently, I was going too hard, and we had to stop. I laid on the bed in the fetal position for a while. It was a similar feeling to that of being kicked in the balls.
The story fucking sucks. I clearly put in the Google form, do not tell your story if it sucks. The story sucks. The only funny part about this is the warming lube part, because you were like, yeah, we went at it for like so long and so hard that like she had to stop because I was just doing it for like so viciously and so hard. But I guess you're saying because you use the warming lube. Here's a word of advice for you guys. I don't know if you want to take sex advice from me, but, you know, don't use any of the fun, interesting lubes, you know? Like the warming shit or like the numbing or like the, you know, this one tastes like blueberry. Like all of those are going to give you some kind of horrible infection or pain or like weird feeling, you know? Don't use any of those. If you're going to use anything, use Colgate toothpaste. But other than that, don't use anything else. I need to bring this chair down, but there we go. All right. Oh, the responses are rolling in, brother, man. They're rolling in. Okay, maybe this one. These ones are much harder to vet out than the first day ones.
I was on Grindr and this dude was driving back down to his city and made a pit stop, and we met at a park and did the deed in the woods. Park ranger
That is a
came
very that is a very like Grindr thing. I feel like every story I've heard about dudes on Grindr, they're just the horniest people you've ever met. Like this guy was just driving through your city and was like, "Let's do Grindr and drive," actually, and then fucking found some dude in the city he was driving through.
Park ranger came and flashed a light on us.
Classic, been there.
Ignored us and went on. Finished and then went to my car. Smelled the smelly smell and discovered chocolate on my banana.
That's gay sex for you, I guess, presumably. I don't know anything about gay sex. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Okay, so you got pooped on. Why are you guys saying OMG? That's not that crazy. They're having anal sex. That's what gay guys do. It's not that crazy to poop is in the butt. That's where poop is. That's going to happen. Especially when you're first figuring yourself out sexually as a gay man. Not that I would know. Why didn't they douche? Because it's their first time. What do you mean, why didn't they douche? Who is learning about douching at that age? You know? The park ranger thing I've heard a bunch, and that also happened to me when I was, because when you're in like high school and stuff, you gotta like scramble to find a place, and like parks were like a big place where I guess people congregated to have sex, and that I remember one time there was the same thing, like a park ranger drove by and had this huge spotlight and was like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo. The park is closed." Church parking lots were a big thing when I was younger. Not for really me, but like the cool people having sex. Okay, 56.
Knew the dude for 12 or so hours, and he proceeded to pressure me into having sex in a mall bathroom. Don't recommend.
So this one comes off a little bit, you know, a little bit. I mean, mall bathroom. Mall bathroom is insane. That's an insane place to be pressured into having sex. I feel like there was a bit more than negotiating going on, but maybe not. I believe there is a 4-letter word for this. Anyways. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. Dude, something crazy is happening outside. Some big explosion is happening outside. I don't know what's going on. What is going on? These like Father's Day fireworks? That makes no sense. This is what happens, bro. Shit ain't sweet over here. I'm not even affected by it. Shit is not sweet. Shit is not sweet, and I'm not even affected by it. Because people die in these streets every day. People die in my hood daily. I saw the mailman get killed this morning. So, you know. What in the fuck? What is this?
He was Mormon, and I was not. As Mormons do, he didn't follow the rules. We didn't have a condom, so we used a surgical glove.
That's not even close to the next best thing. What do you mean a surgical glove? Also, can his wiener fit in one of the fingers of the surgical glove? That's embarrassing.
We didn't have a condom, so we used a surgical glove.
Also, why did you have a surgical glove? Where, just at your house, you just had access to a surgical glove? You had easier access to a surgical glove than a condom?
We didn't have a condom, so we used a surgical glove. I asked him if it had chemicals on it, and he said no, but it obviously did. It burned the next day. His parents also found out and made him go through the repentance process, and I got slut-shamed by his and my family.
He's in the clear. He's totally fine. He repented because he is a Mormon and he repented to the Mormon church. You, however, slut, shame, whore, my son fucked the devil with a surgical glove. How dare you? How dare you bring the devil into my home? Jesus Christ. Interesting. All right, we'll random number generator again. Number 20. Goddamn, boy. Excuse the dead air. I'm going to try to vet out some of the responses. What?
Me and my girlfriend at the time were eating McNuggets in my truck. She reached for my wiener, and I was like,
And you know how McNuggets get you all horny. What? And you know how McNuggets get you. It gets you just reaching for wiener no matter what. You're just going to want to, you take a bite of a McNugget, you're going to be reaching for wiener within 2 minutes. Oh, God.
She reached for my wiener, and I was like, wait, we're sitting at a public park. And she goes, take me somewhere else then. So 16-year-old me thought of the most erotic location possible for the biggest moment of my life. So I drove out into the desert.
Are you about to kill your girlfriend? So I drove out to like a secluded desert in the middle of nowhere, deep, miles into the desert, where no one could hear us at all. In the desert.
Biggest moment of my life. So I drove out into the desert by my house and found a little hill we could park behind. We then climbed into the back seat of my 1997 Chevy pickup. It lasted for 2 hours because I was so nervous, and the inside of my truck was basically a greenhouse.
I mean, that's pretty fucking good, dude. 2 hours, first time, that's, you know, I mean, that's a long time. I guess you are nervous at, because at 16, you've definitely, like, masturbated by that point. So you're used to, you know, orgasming to, like, bukkake or something. Hentai. I don't know what you're into, but that's kind of your, that's your thing. But also, 2 hours in the middle of the desert is crazy. That's, you guys are both going to be suffering from heat exhaustion and dying. You know. The McNuggets detail is hilarious too. But, ooh, I got that motherfucking nap, boy. McNuggets are actually aphrodisiacs. Not many people know this, but McDonald's is an aphrodisiac, so. All right, I have to pee really bad. I know I just got my water, and I just got an ice pack, but I have to pee. We'll do this last one. We're not done with the segment, but this is the last one before I pee.
I was 16. He was a car. Yeehaw. Y'all.
What? So basically, I was 16. He was a car. Love story as old as time itself. What?
I was 16. He was a car. Yeehaw. Y'all. I was 16. He was a car. Yeehaw. Y'all, this was years ago.
Guys, this was years ago. Those were the times. Those were the times. Those were the times. You're gonna fuck your car. Those were the times. You would be in a relationship with your vehicle. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know why it said that, but maybe this changed it.
I was 16. He was 28 in a car. Yeehaw. Y'all.
Changes the story a little bit, doesn't it? You know? Goes from a funny car story to, you know, statutory rape. That's what the story says. He wasn't a car. Whoops. Dude, Weird Al Yankovic. That's a certified hood classic. We're going to be reacting to some of my favorite YouTube videos from my middle school era, from like my childhood when I was huge into YouTube, on Friday or Thursday. Also, Tuesday is supposed to be the drinking and airplane simulator stream, but I wonder if I'm allowed to just take my pain medicine, because either I just take my pain medicine and fly, the aviation thing, or I don't take my pain medicine for 24 hours and then I do the stream on Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Plain Jane, thank you for the 3 months. Bing Bong Your Mom, thank you for the 100 bits. I feel like mine is read-worthy. Control F the word AC, it will come up. We're not done with the segment yet. I might reschedule. I want to. It's a good YouTube video idea. I know the pain medicine is more safe. I'm being really on top of my recovery. I'm not gonna drink on pain medicine. Because, like, if nothing else, that is like the number one thing they tell you not to do. All right. That girl was a freak. All right. Bing Bong Your Mom, that is not going to work, by the way. I'm going to need more than AC. Okay. Where's my random number generator? Did it go away? Chad, did he read the one about poop? Surprisingly, not too many poop stories yet. I mean, there's been one. Thank you, Hawkeye Yer, for the raid. Hawk 2 a raid. All right. Thank you. Hawk 2 actually recently just turned a year old, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for hawking all over me. I appreciate it. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for the raid. All right, what is this? I'm reacting to my viewers losing their virginity stories. So. Not too many sex havers in the chat. There's like 3 submissions. There's 3 submissions. It's kind of crazy. I'm having to chat GPT the rest of the stories. All right.
So basically, I lost it while I was 15. They were 14 at the time.
Let me say this. It is weird now being like, you know, me, 25, being like, looking back on anyone else talking about losing their virginity, or like me at 16 or whatever. But like, I feel like 14 is too young, right? That's crazy. Is 14 not crazy? That's great. When I was 14, I was like, oh man, did you guys hear that Epic Rap Battles of History, Hitler versus Vader 2 just dropped? Have you guys seen that? You know, isn't 14 crazy? Like at 14, I'm like, you know, I'm like, dude, have you seen this new Smosh video? I hope Mrs. Nesbitt isn't too strict in English class, you know? Like, I feel like I was not worried about sex. I will say, I've said this on stream before, but at 13, I used to be like really big into God and stuff. Why does he stare directly in the camera? It's when I'm making a point. I used to be really big into God and stuff. And I had like a moral problem with sex. And then when I was 12, or when I was 13, I was like, blowjobs are cool. I remember making the conscious thought in my head being like, I remember thinking that is what was holding me back from receiving blowjobs, is my moral problem with receiving blowjobs. So when I was 13, I was like, I'm fine with that, actually, morally. And just expecting, you know, people to blow me, being like, all right, ladies, I'm okay with that now, so come on. Never happened. And then at 14, I was like, I think I'm cool with sex as well. So, same thing. I was just like expecting that. Like, I thought that was the thing that was holding me back. But anyways, yeah, I feel like 14 is crazy. That's.
So basically, I lost it while I was 15. They were 14 at the time. Me and my partner was cuddling, and we talked ABT.
Dude, this is a southern relationship. Me and my partner was cuddling.
Me and my partner was cuddling, and we talked ABT fucking a few days beforehand, but was very fucking
Jesus
scared for
Christ.
pregnancy.
Don't say fucking when referring to yourself at 15. Yeah, we're talking about fucking.
Me and my partner was cuddling, and we talked
Z Rosie
ABT
thinking of the
fucking
11
a few
months
days beforehand, but was very fucking scared for pregnancy. So we was cuddling, and shit. They go up on top of me. After telling me they wanted to wait till they was 15, and basically they started it. I kept saying it would be their fault if SMT happened, and they basically was giggling saying my fault.
What is up with all the was? What is up with all the usage of was? So basically they was saying that it would be my fault, and they said they waited until they was 15, and
I kept saying it would be their fault if SMT happened, and they basically was giggling saying my fault. And YK that happened. No, they never became prego. We all is good. Love your content, handsome fella. Never caught your name though. I hope you are surgery. Recovery is good. See ya.
Holy shit. The one time that you could have used was in the correct way, you used is. We all is good. Or maybe you would use are there. Yeah, I know it's in the past tense, but you don't say we was cut. You would say we were. 36 on the English portion of the ACT, by the way. You know. I hope you are surgery recovery. Thank you. It's going well. Surgery recovery is going well. I'm not following this. Basically, I guess the girl got on top and you guys were afraid of pregnancy and then they didn't get pregnant. It's not that crazy of a story, I feel like. I feel like that's everyone's fear. Like all the time. I'm an anxious guy. You know. I'm like, what if they get pregnant? I'm also in a cast. Well, I'm in a splint. We are not the same. No one can sign this shit, dude. Ah! Sorry, I almost knocked over my water. All right, they preface this story by saying my V-card story is actually kind of crazy, so let's see. Can I sign your ass instead? Sure thing, dude. There's a lot of signatures on there. You're going to have to write small, but yes. Feel free. Oh, dude, I might need to take an oxy right after the stream. It's kind of hurting a little bit now. This one, what the fuck is this?
My V-card story is actually kind of crazy. I went to a boarding school for fuck-ups, and it was co-ed, up in the mountains in Tucson.
Okay.
I'm fluent in German. Do you have any idea how weird it is being a blonde-haired blue-eyed Jew whose first language was German?
I would imagine pretty weird.
I had no idea what to do with myself. And there was this girl named Emma. She was from Dusseldorf and...
She was from fucking where? What the fuck? Just a Lord of the Rings ass town to be from. What the fuck is Dusseldorf, dude? I'm assuming that's a German town. What is Dusseldorf? Holy fuck. Oh, it is. Okay, it is in Germany. Oh my god.
She was from Dusseldorf.
Dude, I am not taking you seriously if you're from Dusseldorf. That's not happening. Is it possible to game with your elbow like that? Not really. I can do one-handed gaming. I can also use my fingers, but it's very difficult to game. But I mean, in a few weeks, I should be okay to game. Not how you pronounce it. Okay. Okay, expert on the Germans. How much do you know about German history? How much are you into German history? You know what I'm saying? Let me go pronunciation.
Dusseldorf.
You are incorrect. You are incorrect. You can't just come in here lying.
Dusseldorf.
That's how you say it. Dusseldorf.
Dusseldorf.
Home of the Austrian painter.
Dusseldorf.
Okay. Well, my only options are American and British pronunciation.
Dusseldorf.
Holy shit.
Düsseldorf.
Dude, that's the same shit. It's just a little bit more of a German accent.
Düsseldorf.
Düsseldorf. Whatever, who gives a fuck?
She was from Dusseldorf and didn't speak great English, so I was her default friend. On the same night, I smoked weed for the first time. She walked up to me while I was burned out of my skull and took me by my hand without saying anything and took me behind building E and said, "Lie down and shut up." And I was too blitzed to even comprehend what was happening. and she rode me like she was punishing me for disappointing my parents.
Ah, what? Oh my god, we started off so silly with the whole Dusseldorf thing. And then you're telling me like a rape story. That's... Oh my god, I'm sorry that happened. Well... Are you okay? Well, this isn't my story. Interesting. I'm sorry that happened. Wait, so this is at boarding school. I see. Well, not the most moral group of cats at boarding school. You know, you're at boarding school because you're a bad apple. What is this? Can't be real, but I would like to believe it is just based on the starting sentence.
Okay, so I met this guy in a McDonald's line. I got out of the car and asked for his snap. 10 minutes later, he's paying for my friends and I's gas to drive to the next date over at 2 a.m. and on our way back the next morning. My friend's car shit out, and we had the green on us. My friend decides to call the cops instead of a towing company, and one friend took the charge for it. Was left to hitchhike to the next city over in a semi-truck. Found myself at a trap house waiting for my other friend to come pick me up.
Where is the sex? When did the sex happen? I'm very confused. Oh, I see. Okay, the sex is insinuated. Okay, so first of all, insane that... I see. So they drove over to the next state at 2 a.m. Did they all have sex with this guy? Was your first time an orgy? I'm confused. And then... I mean, for your first time to be just a guy in the McDonald's line? What? Just a stranger in the McDonald's drive-thru? I mean, at least pick, like, I don't know, Panera Bread drive-thru or something. I mean, that's like the lowest tier of strangers at the drive-thru. But exactly, like we mentioned, it's those fucking nuggets. They'll get you. Also, I don't understand the detail of your friend calling the cops instead of a towing company, knowing that you guys have weed in the car. It sounds like your friend is just dumb as fuck. What? Or true, but we can't rule out that it wasn't the car. And because we've already seen one of those stories tonight. Yeah, you guys need to take a riding class or something. Not all of you, but I think we could all benefit from a couple riding classes. Search Mormon. We already had a Mormon story, so I may have read it already. Unless there's multiple. Ona Patricia, thank you for the 8 months.
I was at my grandma's house, and honestly, I don't know the difference between an uncircumcised penis and like non-one, right? And like I think it was the first time I sucked it too, and it was cool IG, but the first time I don't think. He popped my cherry, it didn't even hurt. I'm like, okay, but the second time it did hurt, and it popped, but yeah.
What? Okay, again, we gotta take some fucking riding class. You don't have to end the story with, but yeah. That was crazy. I don't understand what just happened. So the story is that they didn't know the difference between an uncircumcised and circumcised penis, but she thinks it was circumcised and it was cool, but he didn't pop your cherry, but then he did. The second time. I don't know. I only picked this one because I don't know. I don't understand. I only picked this one because I too had no idea. Like, I thought every penis was normal looking until I discovered that some dudes have foreskin, and I was like, oh, what the hell? That's crazy. So, you know. How did you discover that? If you Google, like, penis... That sounds crazy, but like, anatomy, whatever. I'm not going to explain myself. It's fine. Because people were talking about it in school, and they were, like, talking about how their penises with, like, they have, like, a trunk. And I was like, what? So I was just like, penis anatomy. And as it turns out, that's, like, the default settings. This one's ridiculous.
I got sent to the mental hospital. And while we were in our rooms, me and some other patient fingered each other, I wouldn't really consider my first time LOL.
I mean, I don't even know what to say to this one. The win in Rome, I guess. I don't know. Wow. I mean, if you can find somebody to match your freak, I guess. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Okay. I used my left hand to control C that. The doctor did say to use as much as, you know, to use my fingers as much as I can without it hurting too bad. So that way my muscles don't, like, freeze up or something and recovery is harder.
I lost it my freshman year of college. He was a 26 years old Turkish guy and super fit. I was 18 at the time, so of course I was super excited. He has muscular physique, but his penis was literally same length as my pointer finger.
Oh, yes. Awesome. I love these stories. It makes me feel so, I don't know, just so because you would like to look at a jack guy and be like, well, he probably has a fucking tiny little dick, you know? So every time I hear one of these stories, I'm like, yes, you know, validated. Yes, exactly. Because I'm like, there's no way. You have to have a tiny penis. And it does make me feel validated as a tiny guy.
He has muscular physique, but his penis was literally same length as my pointer finger. I was so pissed, but what he lacked in penis skill and XP, he definitely made up with Ed. He's such a sweet and interesting guy, but I was like, damn, I waited this long for this when I could have just fingered myself in my dorm. He was also super aggressive and asked to tie me up with rope that was hidden behind a pillow.
Your first
In that
time?
moment, I got so scared and came back to my reality. In a dude's apartment who is so fresh from Turkey that his English is more broken than your elbow, who is now holding rope in his hands while I'm under him. I sped back to campus in complete silence.
Yeah, I mean, that's, to meet a stranger who barely speaks English, and they're like, tie you now, you know, like, that's got to be scary. That was well written. That was good. That reminds me of my freshman year. I had this crazy roommate. I've talked about him a bunch on stream before. I have so many stories with this guy, but he was like super fucked up, and like he, you know, had real bad anger issues and like was always drugged out or drunk or whatever. Yeah, the fucking on the floor, that's not what I'm talking about. One time he came home, like I was in the living room and he came through the door and he had like rope and ball gags and nipple piercings and like candles and fucking, you know, all this chains and whips and stuff. Like he came in with like this huge burlap sack of sex toys, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh yeah, my ex-girlfriend's coming over tonight. So, you know, I'm like in the dorm right over. Like it was, I could hear everything. She was like tied up to the bunk bed being punched or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was, what a guy. The story is funnier if you know what he looks like.
His AC unit broke, and it was midsummer, so it was blistering hot. But I was 19, and he was my first boyfriend, and we both really wanted to. We went at it for a couple of minutes, and he stopped, but I can't remember why, and he just kind of stood there for a minute, and I noticed he looked really pale, and nearly fell over. I helped him sit down, and he said he was going to get sick, so I quickly grabbed the small trash can in his bedroom.
He's trying to convince himself he's not gay. He's like, yeah, babe, no, we can have sex tonight. Just take off your clothes.
Nearly fell over. I helped him sit down, and he said he was going to get sick, so I quickly grabbed the small trash can in his bedroom, and he puked in that. Obviously, we stopped after that, and I was just taking care of him, getting him water, avoiding that trash can at all costs, when I noticed the blood on him, on the sheets, on me, and I thought, holy shit, this guy got so grossed out by me that he nearly fainted and vomited.
Oh, he saw, oh, I see.
On me, and I thought, holy shit, this guy got so grossed out by me that he nearly fainted and vomited. But looking back, he was just overheated. But I thought I was the reason all this happened, because I assumed he had that reaction when he saw the blood. Also, when he eventually got up, he knocked over the trash can and spilled his puke on the rug, so, yeah.
Double plot twist. So he wasn't freaking out over the blood. He probably just had a heat stroke. Or he was. You know, it's his first time. It's his first time as well, I think, from what I can tell with the story. Maybe he's kind of like, ugh, you know. I don't know if it's worth puking over. I'm sure the heat had something to do with that, though. Maybe it's both. That is funny, though. No matter who you are, thank you for the 100 bits. Bing bong your mom. Look up Owl. I will. No matter who you are, there's going to be a huge hit to the ego if you're having sex with someone and they're like, excuse me. You're going to be like, what? What did I do? Even if it's completely innocent, you're going to be like, oh, man. What did I do? All right.
Was 12th grade after school. Last period had just let out, and we walked to his car that was parked in a random parking lot across from the school. He walks me to this van, and it is 90 degrees outside and like 100 degrees inside the van. The van had stains on the carpet and random old food in the cup holders. He refused to turn on the car and use the AC because he claimed to be conscious about the environment. We were dripping sweat the entire time.
And he's a hero.
When we were done, he got me Starbucks. The next day, he texted me saying he is not going to see me again because he dreamed of himself and Owl talking in which they talked about his life, and the owl made him realize he should never see me again.
Dude, that's like the Native American version of like, I just prayed to God and he said that like we're not gonna work out. Like an owl visited me in a dream and was like, you know, don't date this person anymore. That's fucking hilarious. Wow. Whew. Wow, his ass could not come up with a reason to leave you. That is so funny. Yeah, no, I had this dream about an owl, and he was like, oh, can't see each other anymore. When the sex is so bad, you got to pull the owl card. When the sex is so bad, you got to whip out the old reliable dream owl card. That is hilarious. I had a vision. Okay, this one is not real. I'm not even gonna bother. Whew. Okay, blah blah blah. My cousin, blah 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 blah. Oh, that is such a good reason. I mean, you might as well, like, if you don't have a legitimate reason, you might as well just make up a ridiculous reason.
Had sex for the first time in my boyfriend at the Times rental car.
Oh,
It was also in an AMC theater parking lot.
classic.
Nobody was there really, but all I could smell was buttery popcorn, and it made me nauseous. When he came in my mouth, I didn't swallow it because I knew if I did, I'd vomit. So I kept it to the side of my mouth and then spit it out when I got out of the car to go back to the front passenger. I have a preference for girls, now yay.
That's good. You don't have to deal with cum or whatever. But I mean, it would have. I guess you were nauseous over the smell of popcorn. It would have tasted like popcorn, probably. And normally, I feel like that would be pretty cool. But to spit it out like an elderly person on their front porch, like, ba-ding, is pretty funny. Wow, holy shit. Okay, that's not a real story. That is not a real story. Although it would be kind of funny. I will say, just skimming through these, a lot of you guys lost your virginity at your grandparents' house. Which I guess that kind of makes sense, because your grandparents are like too senile to really know, I guess, what's going on. But there's so many. There's so many. I guess it's safer than your parents. Oh, thank you for the 100 bits, Cryptical Punk. I will search up your query in a second, but dude, this one starts off relatively tame and then just takes a. I guess they say that actually.
This story starts off very normal. I was freshly 15 and snuck out of my house to go hang out with a football player from my rival high school.
Classic.
Both of our parents are strict, so we were at his friend's house. We did it in his friend's bed. His peen was so
Classic.
small I asked if he put it in yet, and he was like, "Can you moan more anyway?"
Hey, can you moan, actually? Can you moan and stuff? I know I'm not, like, facilitating any moaning, but, like, can you please just pretend at least?
His peen was so small I asked if he put it in yet, and he was like, "Can you moan more anyway?" Turns out later that summer his friends murdered a family of 5.
What does that mean? I think it means exactly what it says. Oh, shit.
Turns out later that summer his friends murdered a family of 5. I lost my V card in a murder's bed. I'm dead. Look up Green Valley Ranch fire in Colorado. This story.
Fuck.
Turns out later that summer his friends murdered a family of 5.
Yeah, listen. Not everyone's a perfect judge of character. Sometimes you're going to have friends that commit, I don't know, quadruple homicide or something. Murdered all 5? Hold on, I'm looking it up. They said look up Green Valley Ranch fire in Colorado. Set their house on fire? Hold on, quintuple, excuse me. Hold on. Judge sentences 20-year-old to 60 years in prison. Man pleads guilty to second-degree murder in Green Valley ranch fire that killed 5 family members. She lost her virginity in this guy's bed. Kevin Bowie. She lost her virginity in this man's bed. Oh my God. A 20-year-old man pled guilty. How do you even cope with that? How do you even, like... It's just crazy. She's in chat? What's the username? Kevin Bowie agreed to serve 60 years in the Department of Corrections for both counts of second-degree murder. Oh my God.
We're back.
Hello.
Is it okay if you have some bone reviews? Slug behind you.
Hold on, I'm reading about a murder. I'll be out there in a second.
Should we go that way?
Who's golden?
I need help with
This video is not loading. I don't know why this video is not loading, but insane. That one takes the cake. I mean, that's the craziest fucking shit I've ever heard. Oh. Good Lord. Woo. I mean, how do you even, like, it was the friend, was the guy who had the small penis guy, was he involved at all? Or he was just friends with the guy that just so happened to, you know, murder a family of 5? He wasn't? Yeah, but if your friend, like, I feel like I would be able to know if one of my friends would murder a family of 5. I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of character. That is crazy. Autumn, thank you for the 100 bits. My brother just passed his his STD test. Can you say congrats? Well, congrats to your brother. I don't know why you would know about your brother's STD test results, but that's great. They were masked and no one knew until the arrest. Fucking crazy story. Did you guys like date after that? Be like, whoa, that's crazy. All right. Cryptical Punk, I'm looking up your story.
When I was 13, I was living with my mom's friend and her kid, and my mom's friend's son had a friend over, and we were all watching a movie, and the son went to sleep, leaving me and his friend in the living room. It was really late, and he was like, you want to go smoke some weed? And he was 17, and I wanted to impress him. So I was like, fuck yeah. And we went outside, and I got high as fuck, and we watched How High 2. And then we went to the room I was staying in, and I gave my first blow job and lost my virginity and learned what queefing was all in one night. Anyways, I'm 18 now, and pretty sure I got groomed. But at least the kush was good.
At least the kush was good. You can't... but at least the kush was good. No, that is not the takeaway. Oh, my Lord. Jesus Christ. I can't even laugh at, like, the funny queef section of the story because I'm thinking about now. Got groomed. Good Lord. Okay, we're gonna rip 2 grandpa stories, and then that'll be it. I would like to stream for longer. I started stream, like 7:40 or something? I started streaming a reasonable time tonight. I would like to hit like 3 hours, but I don't know. It is early. I did get surgery 2 days ago, so I am gonna take some time to recover tonight, and then we'll have a bit longer streams tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm spending more money. I'm doing, buying every single ad I see. I'm clearing all my cookies. I'm signing out of everything. I'm just gonna surf the internet. I'm going to turn off my ad blocker. I'm going to buy every single ad I see, and that'll be for a YouTube video. The airplane simulator thing will be for a YouTube video as well. We're kind of getting back to regularly scheduled programming here. So, anyways, we'll rip 2 grandpa stories. Because a lot of you guys have sex in your grandparents' house, I guess.
Guy came over to my house for my grandpa's birthday. He was my boyfriend at the time, and during the fire, afterwards we went inside to grab his cake and ended up doing it in my room.
During the fire?
Guy came over to my house for my grandpa's birthday. He was my boyfriend at the time, and during the fire, afterwards we went inside to grab his cake and ended up doing it in my room. We then got the cake for my grandpa and proceeded to celebrate his birthday, and he and I secretly just thought about how it was. Both our first time.
I think, okay, so there was a part in parentheses that didn't come through text-to-speech, and the cake had the grandpa's face on it, so I think the story is that they fucked while, like, grandpa's face on a cake was on the nightstand, like, you know? I think that's what it is. Maybe this other grandpa story will be interesting. I see the words grandpa and I see the word stroke. The only 2 people that showed up to Peepaw's birthday party escaped to the bedroom to have sex.
My actual virginity was lame. So here's the first time I did, but stuff is grandpa.
I think butt stuff.
My actual virginity was lame. So here's the first time I
Yay!
did,
Oh man, I
but
missed
stuff
these
is grandpa
stories.
Just died from a stroke a week before Christmas. So his family...
So I decided to treat him. So I decided to do an act of kindness.
So his family invited me for dinner to grieve with him. Randomly, he decides to take me into the basement to watch a movie rather than spend time with his family, and I just went along with it. We were going normally on the couch, nothing crazy, but his brother came downstairs, so he froze. His brother went into his room, and we continued, yet his cousin came down not long after. She proceeded to sit down on top of us, literally boning under the blanket. He tried to discreetly pull back, but instead ending up going into the wrong hole rather than being normal and just stopping. He continued and finished in me, with his cousin still present in the room. Genuinely don't know how or why I decided to stay with him after that.
I'll recap for you guys. I'm following. So, oh my God. Okay, thank you for the 200 bits. I will search fat and ugly in Minecraft, and that'll be it. I'll recap for you guys. I'm following what's happening. His grandpa died of a seizure. He invites his girlfriend over. He is like, let's have sex. They end up having anal under a blanket, and the cousin is in the room as well, for some reason. And I guess everyone grieves differently. So, or a stroke, I'm sorry. He died of a stroke. But everyone grieves differently. I guess. She was sitting on top of us, not just in the room. Okay. Sorry that I tried to make her story less incestual. I'm sorry I tried to make your story less incestual. I don't understand what you mean she was on top of the blanket. What do you mean she was on top of the blanket? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I'm not following. What is it? This has to be a fake story. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Minecraft? I don't know what I want from these streams, because I don't want them to be so filthy that you're like, ugh, but also I don't want it to be lame. So, like, there's a fine line, and it's very hard to toe that line.
I used to get fingered by this guy who was 2 years older than me after watching him play Minecraft. I didn't really want to have sex, but he kept insisting it was because he was fat and ugly. So we just did it for like a minute or two to a Fall Out Boy song, and he didn't finish BC. I panicked and called my mom to come pick me up. We're still friends though.
What? Yeah, I just let this guy finger me because it was so ugly. I just like to watch his Minecraft gameplay. Mom, pick me up. This guy's so fat and ugly and he wants to have sex with me. Don't be friends with this guy. For his sake, if you care about him even a little bit, don't be friends with this guy. Because he wants to die every day. Because he's like, I remember when I used to finger this girl. And then something snapped inside of him. And then he said, I'm going to grow up to be the greatest Minecraft speedrunner you've ever seen. I'm going to lose a bunch of weight. And I'm going to become one of the biggest Minecraft YouTubers you've ever seen. The story of Dream. Yeah. Good night. I'm going to watch Love Island. I feel like that shit sucks, dude. I feel like Love Island sucks ass. I've heard that this season is not as good as the last one, is what I've heard. I also didn't watch the last one, though. I just can't take those shows seriously. But anyways, I'm going to end off right there.